What do you get when you mix jobs, trivia, and a pair of podcast hosts ready for a challenge? That's right, it's game time. Get ready to join the fun on this episode of Career Chats with Katie and Robin.
Hey, Robin.
Hi, Katie.
It's Friday.
Woohoo!
Are you ready for game time?
Yes, let's do this.
Okay, so today's game is a little different. I'm going to tell you about 2 jobs, and we're going to play 4 rounds of this.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you about 2 jobs, and you're going to compare them and tell me which job makes more and tell me which job has a steeper decline, because every single job I'm talking about today is actually declining in their job projection.
Oh.
The first 2 jobs for comparing. The first one is advertising sales agents. Advertising sales agents sell advertising space to businesses and individuals. They work under pressure to meet sales quotas. They work in a range of industries, including advertising agencies, radio, television, and internet publishing. Although a high school diploma is typically enough for an entry-level job, some employers prefer applicants that have a bachelor's degree. Sales and communication skills are essential.
Okay.
So that's information about the first job. You are going to compare it against cashiers. Cashiers process payments from customers purchasing goods and services. Most cashiers work in retail establishments such as grocery stores, gasoline stations, and other general merchandise stores. And that's all you get.
That's all I need.
Who makes more?
I'm going to say advertising sales agents make more, but I also think they're in a steeper decline. Although I don't know, it's a cashier with all the self-checkouts.
See, it's tricky.
I'm going to stick with my answer, but I'm also prepared to be wrong.
Well, you are correct that advertising sales agents make more. Their median was just over $58,000 in May of 2022 compared to the cashiers, who their median was just under $30,000. But the cashiers are declining at a steeper rate. Job projections are declining 10% for cashiers and 7% for sales agents.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So you got 1 out of 2 on the first one. So that's good. All right. Round 2. The first job that you're going to think about are claims adjusters, appraisers, examiners, investigators. Apparently, there's lots of variations for this name. These people will evaluate insurance claims. Most claims adjusters, appraisers, examiners, and investigators work full-time. They often work outside, inspecting properties on which insurance claims have been made, such as damaged automobiles or buildings. A high school diploma or equivalent is typically required for a person to work as an entry-level claims adjuster, although some positions might need a bachelor's degree or some insurance-related work experience.
Sure.
So you're going to compare that one to correctional officers and bailiffs. So correctional officers guard people in penal institutions and guard those in transit between jail, courtroom, prison, or another point. Bailiffs, on the other hand, are law enforcement officers who maintain order in the courtroom. Working in a correctional institution can be stressful and dangerous. Correctional officers work in shifts that cover all hours of the day and night, including weekends and holidays, but bailiffs usually work when court is just in session. Correctional officers and bailiffs typically need a high school diploma, and then they typically go to a training academy as well and receive on-the-job training. So we are going to compare those 2. Who makes more and which is declining faster?
I'm going to say a claims adjuster makes more.
Okay.
I also think they are declining faster.
So they do make more. They made just over $65,000 as the median. That was the median for 2021, though. And the correctional officers and bailiffs made about $49,000. So you got the money part right. However, this one was sort of tricky with the decline because they're very similar. The claims adjusters are declining at a 6% rate, and the correctional officers and bailiffs are declining at a 7% rate. So very, very close. It was a little trick.
You always try to trick me, Katie.
So sorry. Despite both of these declines, there still are a lot of jobs available, 23,000 for the claims adjusters each year, and about 31,000 for the correctional officers each year.
Cool.
Yeah. Round 3. You are going to compare floral designers and desktop publishers. Two very different things.
Yeah.
So floral designers arrange live, dried, and silk flowers and greenery to make decorative displays. You will normally work in a retail business or a flower shop or a grocery store. You typically have a high school diploma or equivalent and learn the skills on the job in a few months. That's it.
Okay.
Now, a desktop publisher, they use computer software to design page layouts for items that are printed or published online. And you will typically need an associate's degree, and they usually will need some short-term on-the-job training that lasts about a month. Who makes more?
I'm going to say desktop publisher makes more, and a floral designer is declining faster. Can you tell how confident?
Ding, ding, ding,
I
ding,
finally
ding.
got it.
2 for 2 on this one. So the median annual wage for a desktop publisher was $49,910 in May of 2022, compared to the floral designer was just over $33,000. However, floral designers are declining by 18%. Like that's a lot.
We need flowers. They're pretty.
I know. I also feel like just more people are so much more into like their gardens these days, and sustainability and, pollinators and all the things just in their own life. I'm just putting my own opinion out into the world. I don't know why it's declining, but
who knows?
And then the desktop publishers are declining at a rate of 13%.
Okay.
And I would say probably because there's a lot less stuff printed.
Well, and just I think there's software and stuff for all of us to do it ourselves.
Right. You don't have to specialize anymore. All right, last round.
Okay, let's do this.
You are going to compare computer programmers to power plant operators, distributors, and dispatchers.
Okay.
Computer programmers write, modify, and test code and scripts that allow computer software and applications to function properly. Programmers usually work in office settings, most commonly in computer systems, design, and related services industry. Most computer programmers work full-time. You will typically need a bachelor's degree to enter the occupation, and you can specialize in several different programming languages. We had this one on a previous Game Time Friday, and it was one that was increasing, and you guessed computer programs, and I said, oh no, they're calling it software developers.
So there's a distinction.
Yeah, so software developers was in my inclining game, I think, and computer programmers.
Because I was going to say, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah, so there is a distinct difference, even if we don't understand.
Oh, good. I'm going to do really good on this, then I can tell.
So we're comparing that to power plant operators and distributors and dispatchers, lots of names. They control the systems that generate and distribute electric power. You're going to work full time. You might have rotating 8 or 12-hour shifts. You will typically need a high school diploma or equivalent combined with extensive on-the-job training that may include a combination of classroom and hands-on training. Many jobs will require a background check, drug and alcohol screenings. Nuclear power reactor operators also need a license.
All right. I'm going to say computer programming makes more and power plant operators is declining faster.
Okay. And you can also say things are equal if you'd like.
Are you giving me a hint? You told me I had to pick which one was declining faster. Now you're changing the rules on me. Fine. They're both declining at the same rate.
Okay. So they both make the same amount of money.
What? Wow.
I know. So they both make just over 97,000 as the median.
Wow. Power plant operator with only a high school diploma. I mean, extensive training, but still.
Yes. And there's still about 3,200 openings per year for those. That's still small, but It's not bad if you can get in. But for the decline, very similar. It was kind of a trick. Computer programmers are declining at a rate of 11%, and the power plant operators are declining at a 10% rate. So this was kind of a tricky round.
Always trying to trick me. I see how it is. Next time I have a game, you just watch out.
I'm so sorry, but you did a great job.
Thank you. That was fun.
Yeah, a little different compared to some of our other games. We got to see what we like and what the listeners like. But thanks for playing, and all of this will be on the show notes.
Bye. Career Chats is hosted by Katie Huddleston and Robin Coney. Show notes and guest info can be found on our website, careerchats.show. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love you to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. Until next time, stay curious.